Did you like that? I thought that was brilliant. I think he's brilliant. By the way, another little thing, when you go to a Stuart Lee show, you generally walk in and there's always music playing before he goes on stage, and he normally plays John Coltrane or Albert Ayler or Evan Parker. Evan Parker is probably the most experimental of all the impro artists that have come out of the UK, and him and Stuart Lee get on really well, and there's something very free jazz about his comedy. So if you enjoyed that, certainly try and see him live. It's great. He does a residency like a DJ. He does a residency in London where he tries out his gags for his next national tour, and it's in the Piccadilly Theatre. So that's Stuart Lee. Okay, this is Gilles Peterson, and let's get back to some music, but let's keep it live and go for a clip from one of my favourite performances that I wish I'd have been at. I actually saw this performance for the first time because I used to go and work at the Montreux Jazz Festival in Switzerland. I used to curate nights there. And sometimes, if you were lucky, Claude Nobbs, who used to run the festival, would invite you to his chalet. And he had his own cinema. And in the cinema, there was an archive of every single concert that had ever taken place at what I think is quite probably the greatest jazz festival in the world, right? Because it's been going since the 60s. Everyone's performed there. And he's got the archive, and they filmed it all. And one of the films that I went straight for when I was at his chalet the first time was a film of the Blackbirds, led by Donald Byrd, the trumpeter. Now, he was a great musician who played and performed on the Blue Note record label and has a huge history of jazz. But in the 70s, he started experimenting, like a lot of the musicians did at the time, with funk and with soul music. And he created a band called the Blackbirds. They didn't do that many records, but every single record they did was amazing. There's one record in particular that was a combination between Donald Byrd and the Blackbirds called Blackbird, which is just one of the best ever records on Blue Note. Anyway, what did I find when I was at Claude Nobbs' place? A film of them performing at the Montreux Jazz Festival. That song, Blackbird, and it's got the Mizell brothers on it. Mizell brothers are some of the greatest producers of all time. They very rarely went on stage. So this is the Blackbirds featuring the Mizell brothers and Donald Byrd live in Montreux.